ladies and gentlemen. Ronald Ray here, your boy with a cornbread accent. Welcome you to this week's episode of. What happened here? Wrong button. Here we go. Anyway, yes, I am Ronald Ray, your boy with. Can't have anything perfect going on here. Anyway, take three. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Ronald Ray here, your boy with a cornbread accent. Welcome to Wrestling Gold Friday night. Yes, made it to Friday. Go ahead and apologize live on here that I had, with the exception of Wrestling Trivia Tuesday, which I recorded here before I went out of town. My out of town gear went, I don't know what happened. If there's anybody computer savvy, what was happening, I have a little, I'm bringing, I had one of these gizmos, and when I plugged it up to my laptop, it was working fine. I could, when I plugged it to my, well, okay, when I plugged it to my laptop, put the earphones on, and talk through the mic, I can hear. But when I was about to record WWE Raw recap, I seen the little audio input on OBS wasn't moving. I was like, okay, something might be wrong. Let's find out. I pressed record and just did the testing, 1, 2, how you doing? Kiss my ass, whatever. But and nothing. So there was no recap, which sucks. Uh, yeah, behind the magic. Yeah. I don't know if I call it magic or not. Maybe some black magic, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, uh, or dark magic. Like that would be the appropriate term, I guess, nowadays. Anyway, I digress. So anyway, the wasn't working too well. So when I hear thunder, wasn't working. So no recap on Dynamite or Raw, which really want to get into that. Really was want to get into the recap of WrestleMania again for the Thursday live stream and stuff like that, but couldn't do it. Um, Maybe next week. We'll see. I got a couple things. Let me try out. Uh, if it works out fine, then we'll be good to go for next week. But it might be just Wrestling Trivia Tuesday. So check out Trivia Tuesday. Or I think I have a microphone around here that plugs straight up to the like a USB cord to my laptop. So maybe that will work. But um, but we'll worry about that next week. I'm just somewhat glad to be home now. Or I'm totally glad to be home now. As you see in the top there, had 10 bell salute for Steve McMichael. Unfortunately, lost his battle with cancer. And F cancer again. Don't know. Can't tell you how many times we've all probably, definitely. Uh, well, excuse me, was it cancer? My bad. It was ALS he had. Sorry, folks. Anyway, F that too. FL, you know, uh, ALS. But but yeah, passed away at the age of 67. Before he became a wrestler or a wrestling commentator, he was a football player. He from Houston, Texas, born in Houston, Texas, went to University of Texas in Austin for the Longhorns football team. He got drafted by New England, but they wound up releasing him for the second for before his second season, signing on with the Bears, and the rest is history from there as far as his football career. Um, Helped them win the Super Bowl in 1985. Of course, that 1985 Chicago Bears legendary team defense. Plus, you had on offense Walter Payton and Jim McMahon as quarterback. hell of a team. Refrigerator Perry, heck, they even gave him the ball and let him run for a touchdown. Unfortunately, uh, for for those trivia buffs out there, NFL sports, trivia, Walter Payton did not score a touchdown in that Super Bowl. He led the Bears in 11.5 sacks in 1988. Was named NFC's Pro Bowl teams 86 and 87. Let's see. After his stint with the Chicago Bears, played a season for the Green Bay Packers. Uh, what the so apparently, he also coached a indoor football league called the Chicago Slaughter. Won their championship, or as a coach, won their championship. Then I guess he got the wrestling bug at, I believe it was WrestleMania 11. Um, he was in the corner of Lawrence Taylor in his match against Bam Bam Bigelow. Um, and I guess, like I said, I guess he had a itch to get in wrestling or do more in wrestling. But Michael was hired by WCW to be a commentator for WCW Monday Nitro. Then in '96, he wound up becoming a wrestler, turned against Kevin Green to become a Four Horseman. Wrestled there. Let's see. I guess his last match was 1990, March 6th, 1999, teaming with Chris Benoit, Dean Malenko, defeating Kurt Hennig, Barry Windham, and Wrath at a house show. Um, yeah, he refereed the Monsters Ball match at TNA's Bound for Glory in 2008. Um, Also was married to Deborah Marshall, Deborah McMichael, but they divorced in '98. Divorced in '98. They married a woman named Misty Davenport in 2001. Uh, Had a daughter born in 2008. That makes it so much sadder. But yeah, uh, heck of a life. I mean, this guy. Least thing you say, he did live a nice full life. Football, pro wrestling, name it, he did it. Um, Check my Facebook thing here. Always gotta check that, make sure I'm still going. If something happens, I'm not on YouTube, let me know, and we'll kick in part two. Just have to give me a moment there. But yep, uh, Steve Mongo McMichael, rest in peace, uh, Steve McMichael. Also, we all know how this thing starts. Uh, it is Friday. Not only we am I saluting the working men and women who put up with the grind all week, and to the men and women who are working this weekend, salute you folks too. Also, let's give a toast to and rest in peace to Steve Mongo McMichael. What's up, Joe King? Yeah, he passed away 2 days ago. Yeah, that's kind of like it kind of happened really quick. It was like one day they put him in a hospice, next day he pretty much died, passed away. Um, but yeah, but yeah, he gotta say the guy lived a full life. I mean, uh, NFL career, a successful NFL career. He wasn't no slouch. He got that ring. He made those big bucks, or as big as they were at that time. Married a beautiful woman, a couple of beautiful women, I do believe. So, hey, hats off to him. Unfortunately, um, it came calling, and it came calling in the form of ALS, and it's something that it's another thing I definitely don't wanna wish on my worst enemy. But anyway, now with sad stuff, let's start having a little fun now. Let me go ahead and do the usual thing. You are watching Wrestling Gold Friday night. Appreciate everybody watching tonight. If you're watching me live, I am on Facebook Live. I am on YouTube. So whatever chat suits you well, uh, just give me a comment of anything uh, that stirs your memory. Um, Also, or if you just don't have any memories, be friendly, say hello. I love hearing I love seeing the hellos. Like Joe King here, he said, "Hey, what's up?" Uh, and made a comment about Steve McMichael. Um, so yeah, do that. Also, uh, if you're on YouTube, only see me on YouTube. Hop on Facebook. Uh, Send me a friends request. I will go ahead and say, if it looks like something's a little fishy, if you look like one of those uh what do you call the what's the thing now women do now? Where they pose in front of a camera and people send them money. What's that website called? I'm drawing a OnlyFans. Is that right? OnlyFans? But yeah, if you look like one of those models, uh, I might have to I might have to drop you a DM, say, okay, prove you're legit, whatever. But if you don't look legit, I'm just gonna block it. But I have to ask you a wrestling question or something like that. Like, what was the main event of Starrcade '83? But anyway, if you're on Facebook, you see me on Facebook, you're Facebook friends with me. Hey, hop over to YouTube, hit that subscribe button and notification bell. Hello, Brenda Watson. We're not matching again. I got the orange Gatorade. It almost matches my uh, beer, yellowish, colorish beer. I have one of those Monster Blue Hawaiian drinks, but I don't think that would be a good combination today. Um, anyway, so yeah, hit the button, notification bell. That way, any of my content comes out because I will put, when I have a new content coming out, I do announce it on Facebook and all that good stuff. And was there anything I missed as far as the whole sales pitch BS? Besides, okay, also, if you're not watching me live, it's going to be on Facebook for, I think, 30 days, but you can share over on YouTube, watch it anytime in case you might have missed them. I'm pretty sure you might have missed a small train wreck happening somewhere in the video. All right. So I think I got everything, got all that out of the way. Let's see, because to tell you the truth, I'm gonna try to speed through this that way, even though I have so much fun doing it. And oh, by the way, if you are out there watching and you did come on and watch me live during WrestleMania weekend, I do appreciate that. Uh, and, and to all my new subscribers out there on YouTube or new friends on Facebook, appreciate that as well. Hello, Karen Poole. Now your hand is smashing my beer almost. So cheers. So we're good to go there. All right. Anything else I missed? Yeah, thank people. I gave the sales pitch. Yeah, cheers. Now, if you're friends with Karen Poole, give me the date for that game, Karen. I'll be on Karen's Facebook. Uh, we'll be doing I think the plan is still we're gonna do a lot. We are really talking about it. I think we're what do you say, 95% sure we're gonna do it. The Alabama-Georgia game, give me the date for that. I'll go ahead and plug it right now. Anybody watch the NFL draft? Or is everybody happy with their teams? September 27th. September 27th. Um, I guess time has not been announced yet. You know how college football is. Yeah, so yeah, it's gonna be the Georgia Alabama game. Well, I'll be on Karen's Facebook page. We'll be doing it Facebook Live. Time to be determined. Hey, I actually know what TBD stands for. Hot diggity dog. Hot damn. Yeah, you say damn anytime. Awesome. Yeah, freaking okay. I know this is wrestling. This I'll pause a little bit. I am so surprised that the Atlanta Falcons got 2 SEC players, and neither one of them was a wide receiver from Alabama in the first round. Now, sometimes in later rounds they might get one, but usually no. It because he, Julio Jones they drafted. I forgot the other guy's name. Uh, he's not longer with the team. Decided to decided to check his head and then started betting on games and got suspended, then got traded. I don't think he's with anybody right now. What was his name again? Calvin Ridley, yeah. I have I have no idea. So I see I gotta brush up on my football too, I guess. John Cena. Okay, I made a John Cena joke today. Y'all wanna hear it? Okay, it's not real it's kind of a story. So I was on job site today. We're discussing, hey, y'all working Saturday? No, good. Let's get done as much as we can so we can head home. Um, but one of the guys on the crew said, "Oh, I'll be working tomorrow." It's like, "Not here, right?" I said, "No." He said, "Some site close to home." Hispanic guy. I was like, "You watch wrestling?" He was like, I was like, "Lucha Libre?" "Oh, yeah, Lucha Libre." I was like, "Oh, you ever heard of John Cena?" Like, "No." And the other 2 guys like, "Yeah, we've heard of John Cena." All kinda all kinda look at me like this, like, "Okay, where's this gonna go? Where's this asshole gonna say now?" And I said, "Okay, well, we hired him. He's one of our, he's one of our engineering technicians, inspectors. So he will be out there with you, but it is John Cena, so you won't be able to see him, but he'll be out there." Okay, I know, corny joke, but I know I won't go well, it's not one of our projects anyway. So, now with all that the John Cena, the football talk, so yeah, I plugged that, and like I said, it'll be on Karen Pool's, um, Facebook Live, Facebook page. It'll be just Facebook exclusive, it won't be, um, multi-stream, it'll be just a stream on Facebook Live. Anything else I need to anything else I need to mention? Are we ready to talk about some wrestling? Let's talk about some wrestling. Uh, tonight, I know I screwed up on one more thing. What? One more thing. One more thing. I know I screwed up in the description of tonight's show. Not gonna do the International Championship Wrestling from Canada, but I will be doing International Wrestling Alliance, from somewhere in the north. I think it's Wisconsin based. Chicago, I think it's Chicago based. We'll talk more about that later. But not Canada, little south of Canada, in the north. It was in the Northeast. Very interesting promotion that we'll be watching tonight. So stay glued on, and we'll get to that later. But first things first, we're gonna talk about a little history here, folks. I swear, folks, when I, if I ever start making some money off of this, I'm gonna I'm gonna pay somebody at least $10 a show to be my producer. Another one. Anyway, we're going how we start every Wrestling Go Friday Night Off. We talk about a little history of wrestling, particularly today in wrestling history. Of course, today is April 25th, year of our Lord, 2025. But and on this date in 1980, because I screwed up, didn't do something, I'm gonna have to do it old school. Not really old school, but kind of the hard way. On this date, 1980, the WWF and NWA World Heavyweight Championships were defended in the same building on the same day. The Kiel Auditorium played host to the title bouts. WWF World Champion Bob Backlund defeated Bulldog Bob Brown to retain his championship. The man, handsome Harley Race, successfully defended his NWA World Heavyweight Championship against Ric Flair. Also on that show, Ken Patera defeated Kevin Von Erich to win the NWA Missouri Championship. Also on this date in 1980, Bad News Harris wins the Southeastern title from Ole Anderson. In case you wonder who that young man is, Bad News Harris, well, he got a haircut, got some face paint, and called himself Kamala. So yeah, very interesting stuff there. He started out. Wish wish I would have found some footage because honestly, I don't think I've ever seen this interview. Tell you the truth, do this way so I can get the comment. Now, don't be shy, people. You can comment anytime. Just be sure I am Southern. I'm a little slow. A bit. All right. On this day in 1983, Jimmy Superfly Snuka defeated superstar Billy Graham. This was Graham's last major appearance for the WWF. A few days earlier, he was rushed into the hospital following an overdose of pills. Graham left for the AWA a few weeks later and would not return to the WWF until 1987. And that didn't really last long either. That's when he started having his hip replacement surgeries and pretty much retired after that. On this day in 1989, WWF taped the 21st Saturday night's main event from Veterans Memorial Auditorium in Des Moines, Iowa. It wound up airing on May 27th. Here we go. King Hacksaw Jim Duggan defeated Rick Rude by countout in a WWF Intercontinental Championship match. Randy Savage defeated Jim Neidhart. Hulk Hogan defeated the Big Boss Man, but before the match started, uh, they had a movie to promote. Uh, Zeus appeared. Of course, that character was played by Tiny Zeus Lister, and he attacked Hulk Hogan to set up a run for the remainder of the year. I think they had SummerSlam matches and well, they had the match, uh, no holds barred to match the movie pay per view. Of course, a lot of people remember Tiny Lister from the movie Fridays. Debo. How many people remember that movie Friday? That was hate to digress again. Friday, classic movie, classic. It freaking night as far as 90s, as far as independent movies, fucking awesome. Sorry, didn't mean to say that, the full F-U-C-K word, uh, but that's another story. I well, if you want me to bullshit about that, we'll bullshit about that later, but let's keep the wrestling talk going. But yes, Hulk Hogan wound up defeating Big Boss Man in the cage match. The Brain Busters, Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard. Gosh, that was so strange at the time. It was to me, it just felt strange having Arn Anderson, Tully Blanchard, half of the Four Horsemen. Not, I mean, even Arn Anderson couldn't even do that. Because you ever notice, Arn Anderson will always, when he raises his hand, especially as a Four Horseman, would hold the four fingers up like that. Um, and they're in freaking the WWF now, managed by nothing against Bobby Heenan, but it's like, oh, it, this didn't feel right to us NWA fans at the time. Uh, God, can you imagine? Let me finish this beer first. Could you imagine if there was internet in 1989, and Arn Anderson, made it Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard appeared on WWF? Oh my gosh. Just I guess that people will be happy for him because it was the top company. And guess what? They became WWF Tag Team Champions. Um, but and of course, they wound up defeating Demolition in this match by disqualification. Also, something got screwy. I don't know what got screwy, but Jimmy Snuka made his first appearance after a 3-year absence on this one too. I think the match must have been filmed like at least a month, like the 1st of April, maybe. Then aired on this show, but it kind of screwed me up too because there's like one place that said earlier than later. Anyway, I digress again. All right, but yeah, to me it was kind of strange seeing Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard without J.J. Dillon, Ric Flair, and at the time Barry Windham. Uh, I thought that group was as a Four Horsemen. I like the original. It's just something about that when they stuck Barry Windham in there that made it just a little bit better. Not much better, but a little bit better. I definitely like that one better. That with Barry Windham in there, um, without Lex Luger, because the original Four Horsemen. I guess we're gonna talk about this. Uh, I sometimes get off subject, folks. So if this is your first time watching, that's kind of what I do. Okay, you got the original Four Horsemen: Ric Flair, Tully Blanchard, Holy, and Arn Anderson. Ric Flair, technician. Tully Blanchard, technician. Or Arn Anderson, technician. Ole Anderson, don't get twisted. Might be a little rough sometimes, but technician. Um, the second incarnate of the Four Horsemen, volume two Four Horsemen. Again, Flair, Tully, Arn, technician, Lex Luger. Congratulations for him being a Hall of Fame and all that. Not exactly a technician, body guy, power moves, stuff like that. It worked for him. Great. You know what? I cheer for Lex Luger when he turned babyface too. We were kids. Who cares? Um, but it was like, eh, Now, as much as I was disappointed in Barry Windham turning against Lex Luger, it just fit. It was, again, Flair, Tully, Arn, technician, Barry Windham, technician. Uh, and it just that right there just fits so well. Arn Anderson, of course, staying with it, being the enforcer, Tully kind of a heater guy. He could get heat from anybody. Lex Luger, I mean, Ric Flair could too, but a lot of people still like Ric Flair. He's turned babyface and heel a few times before then. Not sure. It wasn't Barry Windham. I mean, who could they gotten in there? And I think I seen something few like a year or so ago. What if Gino Hernandez? I think Gino Hernandez would make a great four horseman. Hey, somebody popped up Brad Armstrong. Of course, me being a big Brad Armstrong fan, I'm like, yeah, guy's a technician. He would have a manager there in JJ Dillon, um, so he didn't have to give, and he knew how to give those serious promos. And we watched Continental a few weeks ago, and he gave a promo and actually sounded pretty good. So, um, but still though, Barry Windham thought was a good fit. He still kind of did the like, okay, I'm not really a suit tie person, but I'll dress fancy in my own personal way. Had like the bolo tie and jeans and a sport coat. So it still worked. It still worked. Uh, and Barry Windham at that time was just top of his game, far more so than he was later. But like I said, I digress. I'm just talking shit. All right. Let's keep going on today in wrestling history. In 1994, the Head Shrinkers, again with a switch of freaking names on people. I uh Fatu and I think Tama, I forgot what his name. Not Tama. Anyway, there was Samoan SWAT team from World Class Wrestling, WCW, NWA. Now they were the Samoan SWAT team. What was wrong with that name, Samoan SWAT team? Then he gave him a freaking cartoon name, the Head Shrinkers. Ah, yes, like I said, could you imagine? Could you imagine my outrage being a kid sitting there on freaking whatever social media going, "For the love of God, they're Samoan SWAT team. They don't need to be that cartoon named the Head Shrinkers." But like I said, that's just my opinion. But anyway, they did beat the Quebecers for the WWF Tag Team titles on a live edition of Monday Night Raw in Burlington, Vermont. Of course, that happened in 1994. Yes, I got a pet peeve when it comes to when the WWF would always change people's names and stuff like that. Okay, I get it more now than I do then, but still, it sucks. I get it. You did not own the name Samoan SWAT Team, so you gave the name Head Shrinkers for your copyright bullshit, so you can make more money off. I mean, I'm pretty sure they get their royalties and stuff like that. And oh yeah, by the way, I still stand by my opinion. Royalties are greater than residuals. Once you know the difference, you might agree. Now you might disagree too. That's that's your opinion. Me, I just want to deal with my agent who, like I said, my agent works for me. I don't work for the agent. It's like, okay, here's my price, make it work. Then he or she either makes it work, don't make it work, calls me back. It's like, okay, if they're not doing that price, I get a little bit more in the merch money, uh, likeness. Anytime my face is on the screen somewhere else, or they sell that media some or that episode to somebody else, I get a portion of that. Yeah, rather deal with that than me, agent, and some dipshit's gonna sit there and go, "Well, we can pay you this much as far as salary, but as far as your merch and stuff like that, we gotta keep it you're on this level right here because we gotta spread it." No, I want my full money. Then if later on when, if things get better, I get remembered, like 50 years, 20 years later after I'm done, "Hey, I want some money for my grandkids." So, case in point, Europe. I think, when again, I'm on this other tangent. I apologize, folks. See, that's what happens when I don't have my little raw review and my little dynamite review and beer. I get off on a tangent real easy. So, what was I going with that? But yeah, okay, remember when, they had that big brawl? I don't know if it was a pay-per-view or on Dynamite. I think it was on the pay-per-view. Was like Young Bucks and somebody else, couple other people versus, uh, Bryan Danielson and a few people, and Bryan Danielson was the last one out, and he came out to Europe's The Final Countdown, and the song kept playing, then the song started back up again, and I think it was, um, I think it was, uh, I can't remember. I think it was Matt who said, "Hey, cut that off because every time that plays, that's $280,000." $280,000 for one song. There you go. Now that way, if you did royalties and say you were in a movie or something like that, and it goes from the theater to, um, physical media, "Hey, I want a portion of that cut." Okay, you're selling to streaming sites, "Okay, I want a cut of that too." So you got I mean, especially when you're a star of it, you kinda or years later when it's like, okay, I was a popular even though I was, uh, number 4 on the card as far as the movie, or not even mention the movie, my character was pretty popular. It started a meme. Guess what? I want more money from that. And you can do that with royalties. Anyway, anything else I can, start a tangent with? Alright, let's get back to it. On this day in 19 and ni oh, yeah, I kinda do cut it off at 1999. It was that the day that David Arquette became WCW world champion? Oh my okay, I'm right now in 1999. Okay, in 1999, the very first WWF Backlash pay-per-view, uh, was in Providence, Rhode Island. Uh, let's see, Stone Cold Steve Austin defeated The Rock to retain the WWF Championship. Um, at the conclusion of the match, Austin was reunited with his coveted Smokeless Gold belt by Vince McMahon. Also, we had Mankind defeated The Big Show in a Room Brawl match. The Undertaker defeated Ken Shamrock. Triple H defeated X Pac. and the New Age Outlaws were victorious against Jeff Jarrett and Owen Hart to become the number one contenders to the WWF Tag Team titles. Little more trivia question. I might have to have this as a trivia question. So, uh, this was the last pay per view to carry the In Your House subtitle. So, I don't know if you remember, what was it, 95, maybe 96, 96 maybe. They did a first In Your House. They gave away a house. I think first couple they gave a house. Then they started doing the monthly pay per views like WCW did. It's like, okay, every month we're gonna have a pay per view now. So the ones that wasn't WrestleMania, SummerSlam, King of the Ring, or Royal Rumble, they were in your houses. So they would have like in your house, fully loaded, in your house, backlash. But this one was the last one that to carry that in your house subtitle. They got rid of it and everything else. So while we're at it, okay, even though I don't have a picture for it or anything, because like I said, I kind of cut it off at 1999. On this date in the year 2000, David Arquette won the WCW World Title. Oh, wrong button. Since he's making me go here. Huh? Good gosh, they had a lot of tournaments for WCW. Let's see. On January 3rd, they had a tournament for the World Tag Team titles. February 20th, they had a tournament for the Cruiserweight title. Uh, April 16th, they had a tournament for the Heavyweight Championship. Also, okay, that must have been the New Blood pay per view where they got rid of all the titles on April 16th. July 18th, a tournament for the United States Championship. October 2nd, Hardcore Title Tournament. November 10th, Lethal Lottery Tag Team Tournament. And November 16th, the European Cup. Okay, here we go. Ah, you sure it was what April 25th, 2000. Okay, okay, here we go. So yes, on this day in April, on April 25th, on Blunder, David Arquette won the WCW champ. Okay, so on the episode of Blunder, Arquette teamed with Diamond Dallas Page in a match against Eric Bischoff and Jeff Jarrett. The stipulation was whichever man got the pin would take the championship. David Arquette pinned Eric Bischoff, winning the WCW World Heavyweight Championship. Um, only appeared as two shows as champion, May 1st Nitro and May 7th Slamboree pay-per-view. Yeah. But hey, if that happened in Japan, it'll been a five-star match. Guarantee. Guarantee. Anyway, yeah, that's it with today's wrestling history. Okay, I will tell you right now. I You know how there's like popular movies that everybody likes, but there's certain movies that I mean, that you have those few that just don't like it for whatever reason. Scream was one of those movies that was popular, but for some reason I just did not I didn't like it. Didn't care for it. I watched the first Scream, didn't like it. Didn't watch Scream 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. How many are there at now? Um, but yeah. Ooh, Twisted the new season 2 of Twisted Mills, I think coming out soon. I think it's done finished filming and I think they released a date, but I don't know where it is yet. But yeah, no, the first one was not cool. First one was not. You know what the best scary movie or excuse me, fucked up my joke. Take 2. You know what the best version of Scream was? Scary Movie. Yes, Scary Movie 1 and 2 were freaking awesome. Way better than Scream. Way better than Scream. Um, and next month, Final Destination Bloodline. I have n I've quit watching any TV spots, any trailers. I quit watching it all. Like, I was in a hotel room the other night, and, um, TV was playing in the background, and the new, a TV spot for Final Fantasy Bloodline came on. I quickly pushed the channel down button, which this is a perfect time to tell everybody because when I pushed the button down, it went to TBS. And this would be a perfect time to tell everybody talking about popular shows and movies that people seem to like, but I couldn't get into. I'm sorry. Big Bang Theory sucks. Hello, Karen Poole. What's your wrestling related talk or question, statement? Oh, really? He's from Iowa, though. What's he doing? Oh, what? Okay, what channel? What channel is the draft on? Well, I think correct me if I'm wrong, chat. I think he is. He has admitted he is a big. He, yeah, I was thinking it might be. NBC or something like that. I could see if it was NBC, but I correct me if I'm wrong, chat, either one comment on the, Facebook Live, but I think he's admitted that he is legit Chicago Bears fan. Seth Rollins wasn't even well, if he was wrestling, he was barely Tyler Black probably when I mean, if anybody's gonna do it for Mongo, I'd say Arn Anderson or Bill Goldberg. And see, I always wanted to praise it in the Raw. Freaking you got the star guy now. As far as Paul Heyman's new group, I don't know what they're gonna Seth Rollins? I mean, yeah, he's popular. He just turned heel, I guess, but people will still cheer for him and do that god awful annoying, "Oh," whatever. "Oh, oh, 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 oh," or "Oh, oh." But, he turned against, well, he didn't turn against him. Paul Hay okay, yeah, I think he's admitted that he is a legit Chicago Bears fan, so after WrestleMania, uh, yeah, I kinda said something about that on the, I've said it a few times on a few streams. Uh, I it might work at actually might work at AEW because, Tony Khan, he'll purchase the rights to some songs. You get a couple pretty boys, right? You know, nice little babyface tag team. Hopefully, they watch plenty of Rock and Roll Express and Midnight Rockers, matches, and then, yeah, possibly Hardys too, but yeah. Well, yeah, you're in AEW. If you're in AEW, you need to watch Rock and Roll Express, Midnight Express, or Rock and Roll Express, Midnight Rockers, Shawn Michaels, Marty Jannetty, and the Hardys. So you'll know how to sell and all that good shit. And put them together. I don't care what you call them, but call them the Block or something. I don't know. But have them come out to which one's oh, which one's that one? Anyway, come out to that one because Nakamura. Uh, what's oh, hanging tough. I know what you're saying. Um, the kid, the kid, Nikita, Nikita. But but yeah, have him come out to that song. People love doing that. Like the Jungle Boy song for a long time. The Seth Rollins entrance music. I gotta listen to it before I can actually do it. Um, who else was it? Nakamura. Feel like doing the Nakamura thing, doing the whatever. Like I said, I gotta listen to it. I ain't listened to it in a few days. Well, the Seth Rollins I ain't listened to since Monday. Um, so it's not like fresh in my head. I'm from the South. I gotta listen to it so I can pick up the rhythm. I'm an old Southern guy too. But see, the whole the crowd going they'll be the biggest babyface tag team in AEW history, probably in the history of wrestling. They'll be so popular. That's my guess. If you're a real booker out there, just don't try it. It might not work. I'm just bullshitting just in case. No, no need to try that. 'Cause if you do, I'll be laughing my ass off. I will want my royalty check. Alright, now with that out of the way, let's do a little watch along here. Flip the page here. This is the International Wrestling Association. It was a professional wrestling association based in Cleveland, Ohio. It was founded by Eddie Einhorn. Einhorn was actually a minority owner and chairman of the Chicago White Sox for a long time. Um, when did he finally? Oh, he was he was a chief operating officer for the team from 81 to 90, then vice chairman from 91 to 2015. Um, and of course, the White Sox won the World Series in 2005. So that was a cool thing for him. This descended from the National Wrestling Federation, which was not the same one that was in the Northeast during the 80s or Louisiana during the early 90s. Um, it was supposed to be the first national wrestling promotion before the before Georgia Championship. Georgia Championship Wrestling was on, you know, WTBS on a national thing, um, and before the WWF did their expansion. Uh, it was supposed the International Wrestling Alliance was supposed to be that first national promotion. Um, uh, Einhorn offered his wrestlers more money and benefits than competing promotions, helping to lure big names such as Mil Mascaras. Um, uh, Einhorn left the promotion later that year, and Johnny Powers took over as booker. I don't know much about Johnny Powers. The company scaled down and stayed in Virginia and North Carolina after losing antitrust lawsuit against rival Jim Crocker Promotions. The promotion wound up uh, being closed in 1978. So yeah, very like I said, very interesting here. It was supposed to be that first. It's supposed to be the national promotion, at least one of the first, I believe, first territories to try to actually do that. And this is for, I guess there was cable at the time, but it wasn't like it became later on. Um, but they had like a lot of, national syndicated channels, stuff like that. Um, in 2012, JDAT Sports Incorporated bought the footage of International Wrestling Association from Ron's son, Jason Martinez. International Wrestling Alliance Tape Library is one of the few classic wrestling tape libraries not owned by the World Wrestling Entertainment, and is one of several classic libraries owned by JDAT Sports. In 2021, JDAT Sports appointed Stream Go Media LLC as an exclusive distribu- distribution agent for the International Wrestling Alliance, Detroit Big Time Wrestling, SCW, or you know Southeastern or Southwestern Championship Wrestling, Texas All Star Wrestling. Footage from International Wrestling Association appear on streaming service service Wrestling Legends Network, built and operated by Stream Media Go, launched in May 25th, 2021, and is on the Roku platform on www.roku.com. www.wrestlinglegendsnetwork.tv. So, and obviously on YouTube. So, uh, anybody, when everybody's ready. Oh, let me share a freaking link. Go ahead and say, it, you dumbass. We don't have the link.
Look, lady, whatever you're selling.
Close some of these windows soon. That's So here we go. We're gonna copy the link. That one. The link is in the YouTube chat. And now for comment. Really matters. There we go. So whenever you're ready, we'll do a countdown here. And since I realized that, I guess all the bullshit trying to fix things here and there, I found out that I can have my tablet right here, and the sound won't come through my microphone. Whenever you're ready, we'll do a little countdown, and we'll play this thing here. Good to go. Good to go. Good to go. All right. Fire it up in 3, 2, 1. Press play now. Gotta love that 19. This is from 1975, by the way. I wasn't even born then. That's how old this is. That's forking old. El Mascaras, man of a thousand faces. Not one of Mick Foley, Cactus Jack's favorite opponents either. Jim Wilson's on this one. Jim Wilson, we'll get to him later on, but he was on that infamous 2020 episode